What's happening? It's Tuesday, straight from the streets day. Brandon Whitting, Vincent Booker, Shelton J in the mix. It is 2018 and we in this thing. This year is flying by. I hope y'all ready for another great show. And we talking about that mental health last week, and we talking about that physical health. Can you dig it? What's happening? What's happening, man? Apologies for being a little bit over time, though, man. But we were just having some offline discussions, and you know, everything just get. See, the reason why y'all get this fire when we go live, because we be warming up. We be out there just simmering up on our offline, and everything just comes through. So thank you guys for tuning in, for hanging out with Straight from the Streets with Mr. Whiting, Mr. Booker, motivational speakers extraordinaire, businessmen within their own right, men in the community, and I'm happy to have myself aligned with these great gentlemen with this great insight, and just sit back, relax, and enjoy another great show. My brothers, how y'all doing today, man?
Good, man. Great, man.
Oh, man, excellent, man. I enjoyed yesterday MLK, showing my daughter the eyes of the prize, showing her about our history. Spent a lot of quality time with her, you know. And, man, It's just a beautiful thing, man. Like, yeah, great weekend, man. Yes, sir.
Solid. Mr. Booker.
Y'all had a good...
Oh, man, I've been up on the weather for a few days, man. But, Mr. MLK parade they normally have in Dallas, man, I missed that. But what I did, man, I watched Selma like 2 or 3 times, man. And every time I watch it, bro, I learned something different, man. Good movie. It's good movie about Brother Martin Luther King, man. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Mr. White, let the people know, man, what you do, how to get a hold of you and support your business, my brother.
Yes, sir. I got the moving company, Bees Moving. You can get in touch with me through Facebook. I'm Sheldon's friend. I'm Vincent's friend. My email is BrandonWhiting20@gmail.com. Again, BrandonWhiting20@gmail.com. Nothing too big and nothing too small. Like I said, man, I'm going hard writing this book, man. It's almost finished, you know. Got the music still coming. We got this increment weather, boy. It's cold out there, man. But hey, when that let up, man, you know, try to hit the studio. And then me and Vincent, we got our project. And me, him, and Shelton talking about the nonprofit and them down for what? February, Black History Month. Coming, man. Coming.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
That nonprofit is gonna be very interesting, man, because you're talking about 3 different mindsets, right? Even though we're similar in some ways, but we have a lot of different thoughts and a lot of different ways, and bringing all that together, man, sitting around at that table, hashing that stuff out, that's gonna be very interesting. That's gonna be very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Man.
It is.
I'm looking forward to that. Because you think about it, though, man. I mean, we're both strong and solid in our convictions, and all 3 of us. But at the same time, there has to be a little leeway. We're talking about offline, right? There has to be a little leeway at somewhat to the point to where, you know what, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but that makes sense, right? So I mean, know, that's going to be really interesting to do that, though, because that's growing, that's building something, that's going to help out. And then I mean, that's something I'm very much looking forward to, man. I like that, Mr. Booker. How are you, my man?
Good, man. Sir. I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I'm Vincent Booker. I'm a friend of Brandon Whiting on Facebook. I'm a friend of Brother Shelton on Facebook. Man, me and Brandon still got our project we working on, man. And I got some solo stuff, man. I'm gonna do. We drop our mix CD as well. You know what I mean? Of course, Brandon gonna be featured on it. Shelton gonna be featured on some. And we're trying to get that off the ground. Like Brother said, we got the nonprofit organization trying to get that off the ground. And we're looking forward to next month doing the show with Dim Down for What.
Down for What?
Shout out to that sister Tasha Dim for Right. You know what I'm saying? Mad love, man. Yeah, we're going to be in at 8. We're going to be in at 8 next month. And, I mean, I believe on email is AKILL8260@gmail.com. Again, that's AKILL8260@gmail.com. And like I say, man, still doing that mentoring over at Dave Elementary in South Dallas, Texas. Shout out to them over there. And hey, look, man, it's New Year, y'all. You know, we plan on doing big things, so you know, we're gonna get there. Man. It's just already going in the right direction. So you know, they needed don't move. So and happy shout out to Think About the Radio. You know, Shelton. You know, we putting it down. 2018, straight from the street. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's all good, man. It is all to the good. And I am appreciative of you guys for your patience, for your insight, for your knowledge, for your connections, for your dedication, because just like these shows happen on Tuesday, I don't do it by myself. You know, it takes y'all to do these shows off on Tuesday. So therefore, Straight from the Streets wouldn't be Straight from the Streets without Brandon, without Vincent. And if you guys missed the explanation of it last week, because me and Brandon was having some offline conversations last week about, you know, switching up the name a little bit because of aesthetics and how people kind of maybe we have presented, you know, talking about streets and want to get into some of these colleges, right? And I kind of broke it down to where the Straight from the Streets name came from. Everything starts from the street. Everything starts from that ground level. And these guys came from the streets and from the ground level, but look what they're doing right now. Matter of fact, if you don't believe how important streets was, what was shut down today because of the ice, because of the snow, because of water, frozen water, streets. No one could go their proper destination. They couldn't really go what they needed to go because guess what? The streets were not operational. So if you're on the wrong street and you're not going the right direction, you're just going to be lost or you're really going to just be incapacitated. So therefore, that's where the level of it all come from. So that's the important part of these shows and what we're doing and the material that we come with and how we come and the passion that we really come with to let you guys know, man, that it's important. It's important to us. And so, therefore, we're going to try to ensure that's important to you guys, but also going to break it down to a level to where everyone can understand, not in condemnation, not in putting you guys down, just pretty much meeting us all on the levels that we on, and let's grow and let's go. Can you dig it?
Yes, sir. Right. Dig it, sir.
Straight from the streets. Straight from the streets. That's what's up. With that being said, last week, we tackled mental health, right? And kudos, great show. Kudos for a great show. And this week we decided in our 3-part series, right, on mental, physical, and spiritual. We're, of course, going around that with spiritual. But tonight we're going to talk about the physical health, you know, within the community, outside of the community, the importance of it. You know, what you guys' idea when it comes to physical health as well, and the importance of just, you know, how it all ties in together, right? Because that's why we're doing the series and kind of breaking it down. And Mr. Whiting, I would like you to kick the door in on that one, my brother, in reference to the physical health aspect and, you know, the importance of this trio that we're talking about.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very important topic, bro. You know, and again, we thank you too, Shelton, you know, for even having us.
Yeah, welcome, man.
And we doing this as a collage, bro, you know, and what we doing together, that's what we trying to show is unity, you know, within the community, as you always say. But, you know, I want to kind of start it off by talking about, you know, physical wellness, and it's very important. A lot of times we take it lightly, but what's happening is that, especially, I'm speaking on African Americans especially, that we be eating ourselves to death. We're killing ourselves slowly, and we don't even know it. Sometimes we don't even know it. With the fast food, you know, and we all guilty of this, you know, with our children, and this is something that, you know, we all can strive to work on in order for us to get better and healthier. I want to quote a few stats. It said 47.8 African Americans are obese compared to 32.6 million whites. I think 47.8 thousand are obese compared to 32.6 whites. And they were talking about how our children between the ages of 2 through 9 are more overweight, African American children. And I come to the conclusion, you know, just from studying some more too, that a lot of this is because I think we was kind of hitting on this stuff before, socioeconomical factors. Most of the fast food restaurants are closer in our neighborhood. Most of the convenience stores are close in our neighborhood, so we getting stuff quick. So this is how we ended up, being obese and ended up with diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and the slave food. You know, we call it soul food, but it stems from slavery.
Yeah, slave diet.
Slave food, right? And it originated during slavery. The worst of the pig, you know what I mean? The worst of everything.
Chitterlings.
Yeah, chitterlings, you know, hog maws, all this stuff coming to my plate, and we turn it into a delicatessen. And this is what is killing us slowly but surely. And it's glorified. But I just want to start off with this, and we got to change this if we want to live healthy and live a longer life.
Say, Brandon. Nisha Dale just made a comment. She said, "Valid point, Bodie."
Who said that?
Nisha.
Oh, yeah. That's right, though. Like, Bodie, that's my nickname.
Yeah, for those that don't know. For those that don't know.
That's right. See, I got about 3 or 4 names.
Yeah. You got AKA, DBA. See?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, little Bodie, little 50.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right, though, man. It's a very, very solid point. Mr. Booker, man, go ahead, my man.
Oh man, in reference to what Brandon just said, man, a lot of this quote unquote soul food that we know originated from slavery. You know, it goes back to, you know, some of it is without question, but it goes back to what he was saying. Like, you know, a lot of our ancestors, man, when they brought them over, man, like they wasn't eating pork. You know what I mean? They wasn't eating the pork. Period. So psychologically, we have to understand. What was the slave masters thinking? They had to know something about it because this is what they was giving them, and they forced them to eat. So they knew there was something about that pork that our ancestors did not want. That's research for us. That's like the antennas go up. What was it about it? Right? Mm-hmm. If you look religiously, it's been forbidden. All of this plays into how you feel. Like what you eat, they say you are what you eat, right? Now, how many people, get up in the morning at 4 o'clock, man, eating full-course meals? They probably don't. They eat something light because it's just like the break of the day. Because you don't want to eat no full-course meal waking up early in the morning. You'll probably feel drowsy. Like, these statements are true, and it affects all the aspects of our life. And to say what Brandon was saying, with this pork, we know through study and research that pork has a worm in it. And this worm resides in the part of your brain where you develop your thoughts. Now, I want you to have to pay attention to this. If it resides in the part where you develop your thoughts, how much are we slowing our children down when they're born and we start feeding them it? We have to think about these things. Now, dealing with economics, we know through economics this is why. Why? It's because it's the cheapest thing on the market. It's the cheapest thing on the market, right? We got the lowest paying jobs. We got the most kids, right? The lowest paying job with the most kids. Think about this. You got to buy pork, man. They having to buy it. They having to buy it because they got kids they got to feed. They got kids they got to feed. But you'll never know the impact that it has on you if you never get away from it. Most of us that grew up eating pork, we started from kids eating pork. From kids, and this is why old people would tell you, I've been eating pork for the last 7 years and haven't done nothing to me yet. Right? They'll say this. But they don't really know how much longer they could live. They don't really know because from day one, when they was able to chew, they was chewing on some bacon, some bologna, or something like that. And like I said, the worm that's off inside the pork, it resides in the part of your brain where you develop your thoughts. So you got to look at our thinking process is even slower than what it would normally be. And this is why I say you are what you eat. If we start getting back from some of this, we'll start seeing a difference in us. But if we don't never get back from it, you would never know. And I want to start out by saying that, man, just to, in reference to what Brandon was saying. We have to watch what we eat.
Solid point, man. You gentlemen always, excuse me, you guys always come in with some real strong points, man, from the beginning. And it always solicits great comments. Also, Ms. Nisha Dab stated that we're the real chosen people, and our ancestors knew it was forbidden, right? So that's the reason you talk about why did they force it to them? They had to knock their teeth out, right? And funnel that old stuff down to them because it's like, I refuse to eat this because they knew the extent of it. So if I know the further, I guess, I can remove you from your history, the more I can dominate your thought process with my way of thinking, with my way of doing things. And that's what has happened. And that's why we're always on such a push of think. Oh, think. Shameless plug. Think about the radio, right? Okay, now we always talk about thinking, right? And so because the importance of that, because at one point in time, we ate pork, didn't know better. But then once we realized and knew better, guess what? We decided to do better. Right? Now, do we go around every time we see somebody in pork, ooh, pork, you nasty? No, we just say, what, I don't eat that. Well, why don't you eat it? And if they ask you, and if they're willing to understand, I guess, and hear your explanation, then you can really, you pretty much explain to them why you do it. But most of the time, people have, kind of cognitive dissonance. They really don't want to hear anything that go against what they've been doing their whole life. So they probably really won't hear you. They probably won't really, especially if I love pork, right? And so they really not going to hear nothing you have to say in reference to that. And so rather than have discord